What is up, YouTube? This is Dragonzilla here, and I've come off finishing my review on the Jungles of Mechanus set, which is Character's first online exclusive. The link will be in the description below. Now, the fact that this is Character's first online exclusive has suggested that there's going to be more in the future, and I don't know whether or not this is for Daleks only, or they'll do other monsters, or perhaps variants of the Doctors. But today we're just going to focus on the Daleks. So it's most likely that these exclusives will be covering certain Daleks that appeared in the background of said stories. And I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but maybe Daleks that did not appear in any episodes of the series itself, but other forms of media that is related to Doctor Who. And what can they be? And remember that these are just opinions and guesses. Okay, so here we go. Let's start off with the most likely. So, as we know, the history of the Dalek sets further down the line will reach Asylum of the Daleks, which is a rare occasion where it's a Dalek episode that I can't stand. As when B&M Exclusives covers that story, I've got a feeling that it may contain a re-release of the standard new series / Time War Dalek that will be accompanied by a Paradigm Dalek. However, scattered throughout the Asylum, there were some classic era Daleks that were either seen in the background or hidden away in the darkness completely unnoticed. But one did appear in the foreground. While since Character have made figures of old series Daleks many times, and have the bases, they could make models of the inmate Daleks. All they need to do is take Daleks such as Special Weapons, Emperor's Personal Guard, Genesis, Dead Planet, etc. You get the idea, and simply weather them and paint on the Asylum stamp. I'm not going to be discussing on how the packaging should look, because I don't talk about those, so let's move on. Also further down the line, past Asylum, is The Magician's Apprentice and Witch's Familiar, so B&M could feature some classic Daleks, as they were a bit more active in the two-part story. But there is one particular Dalek that I think would most likely be an online exclusive. Now, if you look at some of the behind the scenes photos, you will notice a red Dalek that was supposed to appear in the two-part episode, but the reason why it didn't was because despite having the dome lights of an ordinary classic TV Dalek, it was almost identical to a pier cushion movie Dalek, and apparently the idea of this Dalek was to be a little hint that the movies are actually canon to the show itself. Either that or it was meant to be a reference to the Dalek films. But whatever the case, it didn't turn up in said story. But I think it would be fantastic to see this red Dalek as a figure, and whether it will be on its own or accompanied by another Dalek, well, if it happens, we'll have to wait and see. So those are what come to mind for TV, and most likely. Now, let's try the possibilities of what Daleks that have appeared outside of Doctor Who that Character could cover for future online exclusives. So the movie Daleks are not the only Daleks that Character wished to make figures, but they have also said that they would like to add Daleks that were owned by Terry Nation. However, like the movies, this is also where the copyright comes in, but there may be other loopholes that they could use to get other Daleks, whether they're movie or Nation, into the 5-inch line. The movie Daleks have appeared in other forms of media, for example the Dalek Chronicles, that were comic books starring the Daleks in the 1960s during Dalek Mania, had Daleks that were based on the movie Daleks, at least some issues. And Character have made figures from the comics before. One of them was Dalek Alpha, who was from The Children of the Revolution, featuring the 8th Doctor Paul McGann. The TV Daleks also made appearances in the Dalek Chronicles, but we'll come back to those. However, the movie Daleks also appeared in the 1993 documentary More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS, along with normal TV Daleks. Some of them were seen in colour schemes that did not appear in the series. That one might be a stretch because it is rare for documentaries to make merchandise, but it has happened before. Way back in 1999 and the early 2000s, Walking with Dinosaurs had all sorts of products. This included figures, and the series was produced by the BBC, so the same could happen with some of the Daleks that appeared in 30 years, including the Peter Cushing movie Daleks. The Dalek Chronicles had variants of Daleks that did not appear in the TV series, such as the mighty Golden Dalek Emperor, which would require a lot of new tooling, and I'm not certain if character would be willing to do him, especially if it's for a limited run. But I believe you could get more kits that do go well with 5-inch Dalek models, so it's not a total loss. Dalek Zeg is a possible candidate because he's simply a dead planet Dalek but painted red, as well as the Black Supreme, and not to mention that most of the drones have blue tops like the Dalek Guard, so if the Dalek Guard doesn't make a comeback in the third History of the Dalek set, then it could show up as an online exclusive. There is, however, one particular Dalek that everybody would like to see in figure form, and that is the Red Dome Dalek that was owned by Terry Nation. But unfortunately, from what I have heard, character do not have the rights to the Terry Nation estate. However, I believe it made some appearances in comic books alongside the Dalek Supreme from Planet of the Daleks, which is another Dalek that many people want to see a return, because that one hasn't been seen since the Dalek Collector set number 1 that was released back in 2008, and if he doesn't appear in the History of the Daleks set number 8, then he too could be re-released as an online exclusive with the Red Dome Dalek. Big Finish and the novels also feature other variants of Daleks that were never seen on screen, and there are also scripts for certain stories that depict Daleks in colour schemes that were never realised. For instance, the Renegade and Imperial Daleks from Remembrance of the Daleks were originally going to be blue and red, however they were changed to the traditional grey and ivory white, which I think was a smart decision, and thus I don't like the idea of red Daleks being drones. Blue I'm fine with them being troops, but red look better as leaders. And back in the 60s, Terry Nation wanted to launch a spin-off for the Daleks called the Destroyers, which never saw the light of day. Those last two ideas might be a bit of a stretch again, and it's most likely that characters' online exclusives are most likely going to focus on other Daleks that appeared in the background. But hey, this is all in fun, and only guesses. I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't look into the future and see the online exclusives that will be made, and I'm pretty sure Character Options will find other loopholes for more Peer Cushion movie Daleks to appear in the 5-inch line. What are your thoughts, and what other Daleks would you like to see as online exclusives? Let me know in the comments below. This is Dragonzilla signing out. Hope you all take care during these difficult times, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.